Yeah.
You want Starburst?
Oh, it directs
You know that
the
one
cold
too. Starburst.
to the whatever the cold object is.
Alright.
Hey, let me get one stuff.
So,
No.
who got a calculator out of my tub up there after I told y'all not to get a calculator? Go put your calculators up.
Hey. This Starburst. The pink one, the red one, and the chocolate. Who got skills?
Oh yeah, I had skills like every bar.
I don't have any pink by the red one.
I want a lot of like that. You have look like plastic cars.
No.
But got
Nah, you
new
make
technology
sales.
inside it.
Unless you want me to squeal on you, you can
That was a
stop
hard
this,
word.
stone stuff. This is disruptive.
Like imagine a 29 probably pop up like. You get inside and got like touch pad, but it don't go hard, bro.
I don't mind when it's not all that disruptive, but this is getting ridiculous.
If I get rich, I'm gonna do that.
This is business hours though.
A few minutes during class change is one thing, but 10 minutes into class is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, what opening is this?
I think it's 5.
Oh, when Nigel asked what it is, you know, yelled at.
I already said it was 5.
I know.
Grace yelled at you. What's wrong, yo?
You probably do ask every day.
He does. But I don't write the number, I just write the word.
Trevor, you got 5.
I know what number it is, Nigel asked.
Oh, you missed your mouth.
And answer the questions. When I call you, you know the answer.
I do know the answer.
You know, when I was a kid, there was a Skittle on the gym floor. And this kid picked it up and he ate it. I was like, boy, he's crazy. He was like, he's good. Man, yo, tough ass. I wonder what happened to him. It was dusty too.
All right, where are we missing today?
Really smile. Really smile.
I don't see Daryl. Has everybody seen him today?
No.
No.
It was on my bike.
Coming late or something. What?
What?
I thought I saw
You thought you was on?
I don't think I did. Probably didn't. No, I went to Burger King. I got a burrito.
No Mario.
You are
Bacon biscuit and a spicy chicken. And
All right, no Mario, no Derek, and Nigel will start.
yeah.
What's up?
I realized I only had 5 apples, so I can miss another day.
This dude at school on the live 300, like right now. He was like,
Well,
Yeah,
you can't miss me on the
so I took him off, right?
Probably
Like,
ought to check
give me
attendance and
300,
see how we're doing.
And I took my notebooks
Day
and I taped it
was.
to my feet to walk home. And I got on the bus like that. Hey, bro, I made 300.
Like,
What's
so
the
say
name?
somebody failed
What's
your
your
like
story?
just because of absences and like.
I turned my notebooks into slides, bro.
Guidance will, but I won't.
But like, you
They
got.
will pass if they do the time.
Would you do that, bro?
My boy Caleb.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, take him, bro. I want what?
My boy Caleb.
Which ones? There was the white ones.
Caleb got about 15 out.
You know the creams?
And he said he only has 8 here. Here? He said he needs to make it over there.
Give me 375.
I think it has 8.
I used to have the turtle dove.
8 is only fast.
I went to the fair when I was hanging out with
Oh
Sheila.
my.
They got so dirty. And I still
Fail
sold
on 9. You don't fail on 8.
No, they said you failed my.
Miss Curry,
That's
at
so
Miss Curry,
much.
Miss Curry says at 8 you fail.
She said at 8 you fail, you can only miss 7.
Right.
What? Yeah.
Man, don't believe that, bro.
Last year.
Sophomore year, I had like 10 absences.
Yeah,
They still
because
passed
in
me.
English last semester, I had 8.
You alright, bro? They still pass
I
you,
was like,
bro.
I thought I had, you failed a 9. They're like, no, you
You're like, oh,
failed.
he's smart. Let him go. You know?
I was like, so it's only 7 a semester? And they're like, yeah, you better schedule those appointments after school. I was like, I don't schedule the appointments, my mom does.
Yeah, yell at your mom. That's what you need to yell at your mom.
So go into power school. Go to,
Well, yeah, like,
Who in here respects
I
that?
got 5 and in the last period I got 4 because he doesn't count. No, he rarely, like, unless someone was there. First period, I'm probably only got like 1. I got 2.
let's see, Elizabeth has 1. Jay has 2. Tyler has 2. Luis, of course, just joined us. He's good to go. He's got none.
2 what?
Absences. Grace, you have 5 absences.
That's how many I have.
Stella, you have 4. Girl, you have 2.
Business?
Eric is not here. Malik, you've missed none. Carol, you've missed 2. Eduardo, you've only missed 1, but you have 6 targets. So you technically missed 2. Yavian, you've missed 2. Oatsnell missed 1. Joseph, you've missed 5. You missed back off. Mario's not here. Trevor, you've missed 5. Jose's 1. Liliana's 3. And Nigel, you've missed 4 and 4 targets. Okay? And there goes where they are attendance wise. Alright, I'll be doing Saturday school contracts at the end of the quarter.
No.
Those are based on D's and F's. I write our Saturday school contracts for both D's and F's. Of course, D's are not required to go to Saturday school at all, but I still write them because Ms. Curry wants them written. I have no idea why.
Yeah, she's like, if you sign a Saturday school contract at like 5 absences, if you miss 1 more day, then you can't make up days.
So-
That's dumb if I miss 6 days and you're still telling me I can't miss. So I signed the contract.
At 8 days, I'll write you a Saturday school contract for attendance. If you are here, you would make up work at any time with me. After school, you can sign in on the after school notebook and make up time that way. And I'll record it all and I'll turn it into Miss Class. So last semester, I had multiple people who had 4 and 5 days that I could turn in at the end of the semester because they made up time throughout the semester. Now, the thing I will not do is do not come to me in June and tell me you need to make up 4 days and can you stay with me during exams? The answer is what? No. I'm not babysitting, okay? If you need to make up time and you just need to sit and make up time, when do you need to do that?
After school.
Saturday school. I'm not babysitting. If you need to make up time and you want to come and sit and you're doing makeup work, then by all means come see me. I'll be glad to work with you. All right, but I'm not sitting to babysit people who don't come to school. I will only allow you to sit and make up strictly time for me for 2 days. That's Miss Curry's rule, and I will stick to that. Now, if y'all are going to throw Skittles across the floor, I know I'm going to red them out.
You really stop throwing Skittles, bro. Playing with food.
It fell.
You're an
Stop
ROTC.
playing with it.
You know, Miss Wall, they said,
Come on, Army man.
Skittles actually, they all taste the same, but they always make them taste different.
I trust you on that. I don't care for Skittles.
You know, I find that weird that all Skittles taste the same, they always taste different.
I told you I don't like Skittles.
Yeah, they all have the same ingredients.
I don't like Skittles.
They're not flavored different.
Now.
Damn, why are you mad? Not mad.
So at the end of the semester,
You're a little bit mad.
if you're over 8, y'all great. I can't help you. And I've had 2 or 3 who keep coming by and going, Miss Wall, you staying this week? And I keep telling them, yep. If they made up their time, nope. On their transcript, it still says you, no credit. One of them happens to be a senior. He needs the credit to be able to graduate. So at some point, he's got to do the time, either at Saturday school or with me. I don't care which, okay? Same happens to you guys come June. You either make up the time with me, or you make it up at Saturday school or over the summer with Miss Harvey or somebody. Or next year, next fall, you're begging somebody to make up time because you passed. We only have about 2 people in here who have a failing average, okay? That means that now that Luis has joined us, there's 19 people, means 17 people are passing.
Barely.
It might be barely, but it's still a passing grade.
I'm failing.
That means,
Who failing?
I'm not gonna tell you which 2 people are failing.
I know who it is.
That means that in June, I'm gonna pick on Grace.
Never
Since
mind.
Grace has the most absences with 5, her and Trevor are running neck and neck. If they keep accruing, alright, if they keep accruing absences at the rate they're going, alright, Grace has the highest average in here, or pretty close. Alright, so at the rate she's going, it'll be a travesty if she doesn't make up her days. Okay? Highest average, most missed days. At some point, you gotta make up the time.
See, that's why I should just like knock that one. Because like if I have the highest average and the most absences, like that's saying something.
I'm not in charge of the attendance policy.
But like, if she had more than 8,
I'm not in charge of
more than
the
8, you can still
attendance
pass.
policy.
You can still pass.
The school board
I'm
really doesn't
not
listen to
in
the students.
charge.
What did you do?
I've had more than 8 and still passed the class.
I'm not in charge of the attendance policy.
They want to
What time was it?
It's all.
1201. I'm not the school board.
You're not?
No,
You'd be amazing.
not on there.
That'd be amazing.
Don't live in the city limits. Never gonna be on it.
She won't be
Now, not in the city limits. Too far out to be at large. Now, so my only point in that discussion is make up your time so that you're not in that position. Because it's painful for me to give you no credit.
But you can though.
I'm not going to,
Where's the school mess up my credit?
okay?
Your leg okay?
Alright, so moving on. In question 1, what are the 3 types of heat transfer? Conduction, convection, or radiation. So, what's the key to recognizing conduction? It has to be touching. If the objects are not touching, it is not conduction. Alright? Well, hallelujah. At least there's one less absence for you.
Why you late, bro? Where'd you go?
That's not.
Right, you could have brought me some food. I would
Went to the Anita store.
So you're just Did you leave? Drive? Where have you been? Did you go to second period?
I get it, because he wears Adidas.
So we've just matched between second and third.
You get it?
I got signed up.
Got signed out.
There and say.
Miss Walter,
I
you
need to
get it?
remember to mark you here. Alright, so what's the key to being convection? It has to be a liquid in a gas. So can conduction take place in a liquid in a gas?
No.
What does conduction take place in?
Solid.
Solids. Conduction is in solids. Convection is in liquids and gases. Alright? Radiation. How do we know it's radiation? It doesn't touch. It has to take place through empty space.
Raise.
For
Okay.
mistakes.
So, give an example of each. What's conduction? Give me an example of conduction. Sitting on a chair, touching the stove, heating pad,
Blankets.
blankets touching you.
Holding the skittle.
Holding a Skittle would warm the Skittle. It would melt it. M&M's would be better because you're gonna melt chocolate. I'm not sure we're gonna melt that nasty gooey crap.
You want to melt,
Alright.
melt it right now?
Bro, let's roast some marshmallows.
Yeah.
No.
But it's
I-
good though.
no.
But
That'd be a good experiment.
it could be a lab.
Yeah, we can eat it after.
We can make a
Yeah.
campfire outside.
That's so far.
Dr. Wells would appreciate you starting a campfire out on the lawn beside the
Who's Dr. Wells?
The superintendent.
Superintendent.
But she can have marshmallows too, what you mean? We'll just
She like
decide.
smart. You think she likes marshmallows? Yeah.
I'm sure. Everybody likes marshmallows. Yeah.
She's
Missed that 2 years.
That's me.
All right, so convection. Give me an example of convection.
Like a heater.
Hot air balloon, what?
Boiling water.
Full of water. All right, an oven could work by convection. It needs to be a convection oven. Most typical ovens that most of us have probably work by what? Probably work by radiation. Mine's radiation. You have to buy a specific convection oven to work by convection.
How do convection ovens work?
They work a different way. I'm not sure exactly how they work, but they do work in a different way. My mother bought one once. It was a toaster oven. It was a convection toaster oven. We could not make toast. I don't know how they work. We turned them into briquettes.
I had a bagel last night. It was like cream cheese on it, but it was like cinnamon.
Yeah.
I just know convection ovens work on a different premise. They don't work like traditional ovens. All right, so radiation. What's an example of radiation? All right, if you say radios and microwaves, that's fine. That's all radiation. Is it based on heat? No. So give me a heat example of radiation.
No sun.
The sun, warming the sun. If we went out and sat outside and sat in the sun, that would be radiation. What else is an example of radiation that's heat radiation?
Fire.
That's not heat. Okay?
It'll burn your skin.
No. What?
Like a fire.
Sitting beside a fire.
That's radiation.
That's heat radiation, yes. Sitting beside a fire. Sitting out in the sun. You and I, for example, being nice white people who go out and lay our
I'm not even white.
Racist,
warm
man.
skin. Okay? We go out and sit in the sun. We're going to tan better than several of our classmates. All right? What else?
Remember this? What race I'm in?
Okay. We're lighter skinned. We're going to tan better than some of our classmates. Take your butt out.
Water.
Yeah, go wash the Skittles down.
Yeah, I'm not using that in this. These gooey.
All right. Can we give me anything besides the sun and the fire?
Oven. Like when you open.
Yeah. When you open the oven, that would be radiation. All of that heat that rushes out at you would be radiation.
I hate that on my
Like
glass.
when you get up a car.
Pop.
When you get up your car, like you said, that's all like get up and then you get in.
It could be.
The
Yes.
exhaust coming out of your car.
Could be. All right. Now, number 4. What direction does heat flow?
From
Warm to cold. And number 5 is a cold drink sits on the counter. That's all I got. I know Jose's looking at it going, that's a long walk, Ms. Law. I'll go hit those mouths. Because Jose's just looking at me like, no, dude.
Mi cumpliamos es nosotros y computador.
What did he say?
I don't even know.
Something about that, doing something.
He said something like,
Okay. When a cold drink sits on the counter, what direction does the heat flow?
Yeah.
The answer is never up or down.
from the cup to the counter. From the counter to
For the cold object.
It don't go nowhere. Okay?
the counter to the cup.
The cold temperature goes to it.
The cold temperature does not go anywhere.
No.
What's warm?
Counter to the cup.
All right, you can say from the counter to the cup, that's fine. Or you could have said from the air to the cup. Either one would have been fine. All right, either the counter to the drink or cup, or the air to the cup. All right, what's going to happen to the bottle or the can or to the cup?
It's gonna get warmer.
All right, it's going to get warmer, yes. Which means what are you going to see on the outside of it?
Perspiration.
All right, perspiration is fine. That's a great word. I was expecting something a little less scientific would have been fine, but that's
The
a great
water
word.
like goes through the cup and starts leaking off the side of the.
All right, that's sort of what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I was expecting words like water droplets or sweat or condensation.
The cups are
Perspiration was much more scientific than I was expecting. All right, his answer is what I was expecting.
Well, mine.
Yeah.
Weird vibe, I got 68.
I got it.
Okay.
It's the same thing, right?
All right, but usually on the outside of your drink glass or a can, what do you see?
Well,
You see water droplets. You see what? What do you say? I didn't hear what you said.
I didn't even say it. I know. Okay, I'm a little suspicious of what you just said.
I don't know what he said. That's why I turned past.
What,
I didn't
racism?
hear you.
What y'all talking about?
I forgot.
You did not forget. You All right.
It's for you.
Go sit down before I hit you with the phone.
Wait, was that him?
No, it was just the bell.
It's talking to me.
Are we playing that game? Oh, we gotta do the Kahoot, right?
Yep. All right.
Let's get to it.
I'm gonna take my keys and
I
go
got you.
unlock for the computer. If you want, but sometimes your phones lock up and don't work.
Awesome. Oh my God.
What we doing? Play video game?
What's your team set?
Yes, please.
Ready, what's your number?
4.
Why are you doing that? Are you just trying to drive me nuts?
It's friction.
This is 21. Somebody put
Right?
it
I'm right.
on the spot.
I'm on this up.
It's not shocking.
I am friction.
Somebody else uses my room first period.
Who, me?
You are not in here first period.
20.
Could.
Why did they put 19 in the middle?
We don't know.
Ooh.
We don't.
Ooh.
Four?
Somebody buy me some Heelys, bro.
Clear Achilles to escape your feet.
Them just hard, ain't they, bro? You ever had Heelys?
Really? You think I've hit heels?
Yeah. No, why not?
Like,
What's wrong with Heelys, man?
like who's bag in the middle of the street? What is
You know what, like, scares me?
like right here on the
Imagine, like, falling, and then you, like, fall on your arm the wrong way, and then your bone just starts sticking out.
Wow, somebody, their knee bone when my freshman year in football, it was like the game before the school started. They hit their knee and their like bone out of their leg stuck up, and the ambulance went to like get him, and they went like that. And everyone was like, yeah, because they thought he was good, and they just passed out.
I don't think we're doing
Done
this.
for the rest of the season before it even started. And I was like,
Did his bone stick out of
yeah,
his skin?
the bone was out of the leg.
No, out of the skin.
Yeah.
Like, bleeding.
Yeah, like he got hit by somebody, and I guess he like
Yeah,
went in
hitting
the
people
air
that
and landed on it or
crazy.
something.
I
I
can't
don't know
play
what it was. It was
football.
like near his knee.
You play football?
I was like,
No,
no, that's why.
You did?
I never got into serious. So
You don't do it no more?
I'll tell you what, I can
You don't like
catch football better than I can catch a baseball. You like me to catch a baseball? I'm like, okay, you saw. I can catch a baseball.
What's that one teacher, bro? You asked me to do track. I'm like, what? I was doing track.
I used to be able to play basketball. I don't know. What happened?
You used to be really, really good.
I used to be shooting threes. I was like, ah. But that's when people
play.
not trying to throw the ball and I'll fall with my shoes.
I just don't
I'm like, I'll break my own ankles.
This one Indian kid I used to play.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
He
I never play basketball.
Nah.
Why is he? Because I'm gonna break my own
They
ankles.
used to make
You run you with that girl.
Why y'all make fun?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't make
She
fun. I was fine.
Yeah.
They would pick on me.
One night they got you.
He dated her, like, she was not annoying. Like, all of her friends were annoying.
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't a bad person, but she was just like,
I love it.
If you ever get in a fight, you gotta be crazy. Like, you gotta come off as psychotic. I think it.
like, I tried to talk to my
If
son.
someone tried to cheat, I was like,
I'm talking to her.
I'm scared, bro. I was like, You know, go crazy. Yes. Squeeze any Nick.
I would imagine a lot. All right, I need 2 more names. Who am I missing?
Somebody walking in, like, yo, that hurt in your face. Like, it hurt when you missed. Oh yeah, I can't figure out. So kind of like, okay, Karen's like, hold on, like, oh. It really took me 3 minutes to read it.
I'm still wondering why we don't have all the answers in.
You pick radiation or nothing?
Stop getting in the way. You're doing it.
Why I got a smiley, like a sad face? Where? Right there at the end. It's like that. Where? My shit lag. I mean, my
Great.
lag. Cussing. I mean, my thing lagging. I don't want to play no
You need a phone. That's how you start to press that. I'm falling forward.
It's kind of easy.
To play with you. He was like,
Yeah, sometimes you click it.
y'all too fast, bro. I'm in 14th place. Ew, look at that. Ew. Whoever got the skin.
Unfortunately, it happens.
You need a new phone too.
Unfortunately,
What is that, a 6?
usually once every summer.
I peeled up that.
Just playing with you.
Not that, I can't pick on him, because he's not white, but he was just talking about a sunburn over there.
You guys a little slow on this one. This is
Talking about this
That makes no sense, right?
Oh my
Alright. Remember, it's air. Air is convection. Even though it's not touching, everybody always wants to pick radiation. It's still a gas. It's air. It's air that's blowing. It's a current. Because it's a current, it's convection.
Bro.
Oh
no.
Is that glass? Why you put glass on? It burns.
I hate those electric stoves.
I'm still in fifth.
Why's my name Poppy?
I'm behind y'all.
Alright, I know it looked like it should be conduction because it was touching, but they asked you about boiling water. Boiling water is convection.
Nah, bro, cheating. Fake.
Yeah, it's a head.
Boy, gotta raise back, bro. You gotta be like, you gotta be.
Alright, so your pan's getting hot. So they're touching, okay? Because they're touching, it's conduction.
Tell your dumb face. Have you ever like been to Best Buy and like argue with the baker knowing they right? And just still trying to make them happy. You should do that, bro. Go in there and be like, man, what is it? They'll make bread.
I know which one it is, y'all.
Yeah.
Good.
Tell me why I get it right.
Without convection currents, birds could not fly. They don't crash into the ground. No, they can't.
Again.
They need those. They can't flap enough.
What? Is she talking about duck?
It's a lava lamp.
Really? You think birds can flap enough to stay up in the air?
Yeah.
Without convection currents, they can't fly.
Hummingbirds can fly backwards.
They use the convection currents in air with their wings to stay up in the air.
Some of y'all birds.
Second place, baby.
Birds.
Okay. Who got first?
You. Gather around the campfire. Yes! I didn't see it.
And they would pick SpongeBob.
Gather around the campfire. It's
Tyler, sit down.
That's recording.
All right, campfire. That was one of the examples we used in the opening.
How does he transfer to Pete?
Most of these were in the opening.
Like the word. And it goes from
Man, it goes from cold to cold. What y'all talking about? I hope somebody take that. It's drunk out.
Hey!
Cold to hot.
First
Cold to
place.
hot. Jose, bro, drop out.
It's comeback season.
It's comeback season. What?
I don't know. I feel like last time we're gonna get the phone. I said the title was a great insulator. Yeah.
All right, so why does your foot feel colder on tile than on wood floors?
Oh, so what if you feel colder but it felt warm? It wouldn't be a great conductor?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Tile feels how to your feet?
Yeah.
How does tile feel?
I saw wood. And I was like,
Tile feels how?
Oh.
Cold. All right, because it's a good conductor. What are you doing? Get off the computer.
Who got it right?
Sit down.
Copy.
Yeah. Who are the two that got it right?
you got
No,
no.
I think no.
Yes. What do you look
We didn't even learn this. What's the answer, Saul?
What do you think?
Pockets happy, you know.
What's that? What you think?
Think logically.
It's either two of the answers. It's definitely not three.
Oh, you
Yeah.
got it wrong, bro.
Yeah, hot air rises.
Hold up. Can you explain?
I wouldn't read.
Hot air rises. It goes from the bottom of the room to the top. It rises from the bottom, it goes to the top, it pushes the cold air that's at the top back down. So it creates, that's why you have drafts and why convection currents are formed.
But
Okay?
my place got it on the ceiling.
Oh, I don't know why. So I guess some places do, but most
What?
vents are on the floor.
The vents?
Yeah.
It's on the ceiling, right?
I mean, you can't.
It's on, it's
Wait.
a, it's a, what are you talking
Where are you?
about?
Do I got one on the floor?
Probably not.
I got one in my room on the floor. They should work.
Yeah, they're on the ceiling.
I mean, the ones I have seen that are on the ceiling are like are in a basement, like where they're on a second level.
They're on the top.
So
They're on the
right
ceiling.
here.
yeah,
yours
on a
the
basement
ceiling,
level.
Yeah, in my room it is. I know
Yeah,
air
like-
conditioners are
Right,
usually
like inside.
Like central air is usually up. It's usually higher.
I've been had to open my window.
Like for like.
They
air
go to
conditioning.
Like I've seen houses with them on the floor.
Most of them are on the floor.
Yeah, see, it's literally what I just said.
I don't even know. It's too early to think.
It's too early to think.
Yeah.
What time of day do you need?
It's too early to think. I think they're like 12.
All right, cool air cools the room as it sinks. Remember, heat does what? Heat goes where? Heat rises. All right, so it cools the air as it sinks.
Who picked yellow about?
I don't even know what yellow said.
What, bro? That's too much.
It looks like a.
It does look like an eyeball.
Yeah, I'm just guessing now.
Oh shit!
Hey, cousin. Fire 'em up.
Yeah.
I guessed and I got it right. Let that be a lesson, children. Guess on everything in life.
That's fabulous.
Yes.
We don't need any of this.
Okay, can we stop?
I need to figure out how I can save it and edit it. This is all earth science.
I'm not. You only need 3 science credits, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm gone. It's gone.
Shocking, Tyler.
Huh?
So that's shocking.
What, me?
Yeah.
I'm a good student. Here's my feelings that you call it. What is that?
It's an eyeball.
Eyeball?
Ugly eyeball.
Just kidding.
You know, our eyes don't glow.
It's the Earth's interior, according to the map.
Yeah. It's like fluorescence or something.
No, it ain't called that, but it's called something. I don't even know. But we don't got it, so we can't do that. You know what I'm talking about? The thing that cats got in their eyes that like will make them see the dark and like makes their eyes glow. What's it called?
I'm not.
We don't got it though.
No,
Why?
we weren't
It's not
made that way.
I'm in third. I'm in third.
Imagine if like when we closed our eyes, we could see the back of our eyelids. That'd be nasty, right? You know, our eyelids like.
Oh, you're right.
What? Guessing.
Why'd you do that? I'm not about to answer.
I got it.
Oh.
Guess. Everyone guess. Hurry. Don't let it.
Quick.
Guess. Hurry.
I got it right.
Yeah.
Third
Oh, I got
We didn't need
first
those.
place.
I got
You should.
it.
We do not need to know about the Earth's core.
Salvatore 69.
What
What about to do now?
We're getting ready to take notes now.
Do I get points on the next test?
No.
What? This wall. I need it.
No, that's what I saw him for BJ.
Yeah, it's a 6.
Taking notes.
Yeah.
You like notes?
Mm-hmm.
Teach you a lot, huh?
Oh,
Fun
do
fact.
another one. Yeah.
We are?
Never mind, I'm not gonna tell you that.
Yeah.
You know that?
What?
We don't look at our notes after we take them.
Bro, we got
I don't care.
an hour, man. Oh no, we got.
You gonna edit it? Can we edit it right now?
Getting ready
Group
to-
project? Oh, you just deleting them? How old is this laptop? Older than me?
I don't think it's older than you.
I remember being like in elementary school and they had those laptops with that on it. It's probably older than me.
There. Now that's edited for fourth period.
What are notes on?
Heat and temperature. It's a fascinating topic. If you still have a laptop, go put it in the cart. If you have your phones out, put them up.
So we're not.
Nope, we're done. Alright, so we need to talk about the difference between temperature and heat today. Hopefully we'll get through this pretty quickly so that we can do an activity that's going to let you sort of color
Ow.
and label some stuff. Well, you're going to graph for 3 different colors. If that you consider coloring, then yeah, you're going to color. Because I want to. And they pay me to make decisions like that.
What?
I haven't thought something.
Huh?
Why they haven't been able to do
I don't know.
what?
Well, you can be in somebody else's business class, and you can be copied so that they can so stop lying.
I'm not lying, I'm just asking why.
It sounds more whiny to me today. Alright, so we're going to talk about how temperature and thermal energy are different. And remember, I told you that thermal energy was the same as what? What's the other word for thermal energy? That is the same as heat. We're going to use those words interchangeably so you get used to seeing those two things. Now, in the English language, we use the words temperature and thermal energy or heat, and we assume that they're the same things. If you use them in Miss Hudgens or Miss Porter's class, they would know what you meant.
Really?
However, well, I hope, in science class, they don't mean the same thing. Mark Mario here before I forget him.
Tardy. Mark and Tardy.
Yep, it's Mark Tardy. All right, so we want to talk about how they are different today. All right, so we're going to start with temperature. All right, in chemistry class, we would actually calculate them so that we would know how they were calculated differently. But in physical science class, y'all don't have to do any kind of calculations. All right, we are only going to talk about what they are and how they're different. So, temperature, and the reason we're writing this down is you're going to use them in a little while. And if you ask me questions, I'm going to tell you look back at your notes. So, Tyler over there is either going to need a really good partner, or he might actually have to look back at your notes because I'm not going to answer these questions for you in a little bit.
I got it. You know
Okay,
me.
just pointing that out.
Come on.
All right, so temperature is the average kinetic energy or the average motion of all the particles in a sample. The average kinetic energy of all the particles in a material.
Well, can I borrow a pen?
What kind of pen?
A ballpoint pen. With the sharp tip.
Now, look at what I wrote at the end of the definition in purple. Temperature is about motion. How fast the particles are moving. Okay? So the faster the particles are moving, the greater the temperature. Okay? So think about this in terms of you guys and exercise, or those of you who have practice or anything else. All right, the more you move, I may have it here. Okay? The more you move, the higher your temperature is going to be. So, not only will your particles be faster moving and give you a higher temperature, they're also going to be farther apart, which will be important probably late tomorrow. So, for most of you, you're always telling me that you're cold when you're in here because what do your particles do when you're in here? You just sit here. So your particles do what when you just sit here? They slow down, so they have less motion. You feel colder. Your temperature goes down. All right? If you go to PE class, you move around, your particles go faster, your temperature goes up. Okay? Now, some of you might have this experience, some of you might not. All right? If you wear rings on your fingers, if you exercise, your particles move faster. What do your particles do? Do they get closer together or do they get farther apart? They get farther apart, your fingers swell, it's harder to get your rings on and off your fingers. Okay? Some of you might have experience with that, some of you might not. What is it about those Skittles? Yeah, I saw you reach over and get it off the floor. You did not reach over and pick it up.
It's on you over there.
All right, now,
The roaches will.
if something happens, the roaches, in a minute I'm going to see roaches walking by with Skittles on their back as they carry them to their homes.
That's him.
You know,
Make it a joke.
in Miss Vialta's class, there was a roach, and like I was trying to kill it, and it jumped at me. It was scary. It was like trying to fight me.
Have y'all experienced?
You remember that, bro? Yeah, like with Jordan, she was screaming, and I was trying to step on it, it jumped at me. I was like, boy, get away from me.
Usually I hit them enough force they're squishy. All right, now I just missed, and they just kept going. Now, if you have a lower temperature, that means your particles are slower, and they're closer together, because they have a lot less motion. Now, the part about this that's going to be different from heat is heat has nothing to do with motion. And that's the part people struggle with this concept. Heat is not about motion. Temperature is about motion. Okay? Mario.
Yeah.
Why do you suppose I'm yelling at you? Call your name. You're not that
Hablar
slow.
telephone y coche now.
Go get a colored pencil, or at least just get off your phone. Pretend you're interested. What, Nigel? Sure, get off your phone too.
Wait, you know, you can type the notes in your notes.
No, you can't.
Why? Oh, there's not looking at you.
Why can't he? Because I didn't say he could.
Can I?
No. All right, so what's heat?
That.
Heat is the sum total, all right, it's the total kinetic energy of all the particles in a material. All right, or as I wrote there, it's all the vibrations added up. So, how is this going to be different from what we just talked about?
What?
I'm letting you catch up and I'm going to ask it again.
Were you asking a question to us? Or,
I'm going to ask you in a minute. I'm letting people catch up.
you know, I can't wait till schools become more technology based and we stop using paper. Right? We just need like a device where like you can take notes and stuff, but like not get on anything else. And like just get on stuff that is like for the assignment. That would be really good. But we're too broke for
Well,
that.
we all be wrong.
I'd rather worry.
I know. What?
All right, so what's the difference between heat and temperature based on that definition? What do you suppose the key is in what I just wrote up there?
Total and average.
Okay, total and average. So what are we going to do to find heat?
I mean, yeah, add it by me.
Add them up. All right, so what are we going to do to find a heat? Mario, bring me your phone.
Dang, man.
I gave you a warning. That's not what I asked.
Put it in your shoe, bro.
You
I
go
guarantee
sleep,
you.
but you still got to bring me your phone.
Bro, put it in your shoe. She's not gonna get it, bro. Put it in your shoe.
What the?
Yeah, put it like in your shoe. Put it in my shoe. Bro. You did that on your own.
Well, I'm tired today.
Okay. You have it back at lunch since you brought it to me. All right, so where temperature is about motion, what's mass or what's heat going to be about? If we're adding everything up, heat's going to be about size. Okay, since we're adding everything up. Okay, more molecules equals more heat because we're adding everything up. All right, anybody work? I got a couple hands here. How do you get a bigger paycheck?
Keep my work.
You work more, okay? We get more heat by having more what? More molecules. More molecules, more heat. So it's about a bigger size, all right? I'm going to pick on Urelli here, all right? Urelli's kind of small, all right? She ain't got a lot of meat on the bones. Urelli's not going to have a lot of heat. This wall's kind of fluffy here, okay? I got a lot of molecules here. Right? I got a lot of heat. I'm not going to get it cold. So if we had to go outside and stand in the cold, which one of us is going to get colder faster? You.
Yeah.
Weaker. I got all this fluff on me. All right? I got some padding. I got some insulation here. I am not going to freeze to death. It is real. I'm not making this up. Okay? All right? We're like a polar bear. Got all this insulation. Yes. All right. It is the bad thing about being
Okay,
okay.
so you took a dollar or done this soon. You know, she don't be covered.
She's gonna get colder faster than I am. Correct. All right, because I have more molecules. I've got more heat. Okay. Now, I'm gonna get hot faster than she is. I have more heat. Now, fewer molecules equals less heat. So you have to remember that heat is about what? Size. Heat is about size. Temperature is about motion. And that's the hard part for most people to keep straight in these examples. All right, temperature is strictly about motion. Heat is about size. So if I ask an example about, does a frozen lake have heat? People are going to know it's cold. But a lake is huge, isn't it? It's got a lot of heat because you add up all of those particles, it's going to have a lot of heat. Even though the particles are moving really slow, it's still added all together. It's like somebody that's really gigantic. Okay? versus somebody who's really, really tiny.
Man.
All right. Now, everybody got what they need. All right, we don't need that.
Man, my rapper name about to be Lil Fat Boy.
Whatever. Nobody cares.
I'm about to blow up for real.
We don't need that. We don't need that. All right. We need that. All right. Do all states of matter have a temperature and have a heat? Do all states of matter have a temperature and have a heat?
Yes.
The answer is yes. Okay?
I hear that singing. So majestic.
All right. First of all, what states of matter am I talking about when I say states of matter?
Yes.
That's a.
Yes. All right. All solids, liquids, and gases. All right. Now, why would they all have? All right. Why would they all have motion? Why would they all have motion?
The molecule.
Do the molecules?
The molecule.
All right, let me cruise back. In order to have a temperature, in order to have a temperature, the particles have to do what? Particles have to do what? I thought I heard it out there. Particles have to do what?
The part.
I heard it. Say it.
The part.
They have to move. Okay? I know. I just wanted you to say it loud enough. Have some conviction in what you're saying out there. All right? So, do they move?
No.
Yes. All right? All
Don't
the
open it.
particles.
Can I see this brown, please?
Yes, you can. All of the particles in a solid, a liquid, and a gas are moving. Okay? Now, most people look at me like I'm nuts when I tell you that the particles in your pencil, your paper, even that desk are moving. Okay? Now, are they moving far? No. In a solid, they're just vibrating. But they are moving. Okay? They're vibrating in place. But they're moving. So they have a temperature. Okay? Everything that has a temperature has motion. They are moving. If they didn't have a temperature, would they be moving? No, but they have a temperature. They have heat. So they have a size, they have some motion. They've got that. So, when does motion stop? It does stop at a point. Does anybody know it? You might not know this unless you took Mr. Al's class.
Wait, what? What did you say?
When does motion stop?
Oh, I took his class, but I don't know.
You never.
It does stop. There's a particular temperature.
0 degrees.
Below
Absolute
freezing.
0 degrees.
I heard it, I think.
Absolute
Below
0.
Stops at absolute zero.
Oh, for real?
Yep.
Stops at
I
absolute
just said that,
zero.
bro. It's 0. Bye.
All motion stops at absolute zero. Now, that's defined as 0 Kelvin. But since y'all don't know what that is, I'm going to tell you it's negative 273 degrees Celsius or negative 457 degrees Celsius. Sorry, Fahrenheit.
I actually remember the Kelvin thing.
Okay, good.
No, I don't remember that. I just remember the Kelvin thing being a thing in there.
Okay, it's a temperature scale.
Yeah. I took it like sophomore year. That's
So it's like last year.
Yeah. I'm not. I mean, do you think I'm gonna remember that? Like, come on. Let's be real.
What are you planning to do once you get out of high school?
I want to work for BMW, and I want to do business on the side.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm gonna retire and sit on my rear end.
I want to retire
You
too.
ain't gonna be helping little kids out.
It's gonna be a while. I'm not gonna be sitting on my rear for a while.
She's been helping little kids like for years now, right? Even working here.
I'm talking about my personal children. Now.
Oh, yeah.
Once they're through college, I'm not planning on helping them anymore either.
Yeah.
Now,
You should work on the school
Sit around
board.
my
It's not like they do.
now, negative 457 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, when we came to school, it was probably around 40 degrees. Some of y'all would have said it's cold out there this fall. All right, it has to be 500 degrees colder to reach absolute zero. All right, those of you who watch Bill Nye Science Guy, ever saw some of those science shows where they use like liquid oxygen, liquid nitrogen, put a banana in there, pulled the banana out, used it as a hammer? Okay, even that wasn't at absolute zero. Okay, so yeah, not at absolute zero. Now, when you're dead, are you at absolute zero?
No.
So you can't decay. Your body can't become ash. You know, your bones, your hair, and all that stuff can't go back to dust if you're not decaying. So your molecules are still moving at a much slower rate, but they're still moving even when you're dead. Okay, we're not at absolute zero when we're dead. All right, everything has motion on the planet until we get to absolute zero. Absolute zero is a theoretical value. It's not been reached. Okay, it's incredibly cold, so nothing is there yet. All right. So, last thing we're going to do before we do the activity. All right. Why do some objects stay hot longer than others? Or why do some objects heat faster than others? Have you ever noticed that? For example, aluminum foil. My children, I use them as examples all the time. Hey, grill marks on their meat. Every time I put chicken or steak on the grill, I got to put aluminum foil down. Because they don't like grill marks. Yeah, so it gets grill marks and aluminum foil, but
I
it's
like
not
grill
bad.
marks.
Huh?
Grill marks are cool.
I agree. They don't like grill marks. So I have to put aluminum foil down. So
You know grill marks?
I put aluminum foil down on the
Don't-
grill, and I pull the aluminum foil up with my fingers.
Man.
All right? Does the aluminum foil burn my hand?
No.
No, because aluminum foil is one of those metals that cools very quickly. If you've ever put aluminum foil around bread and put the bread in the oven, pull the bread back out of the oven, as soon as the foil comes away from the bread, the aluminum foil cools very quickly. Okay?
Yeah, that's cool.
It is. It cools quickly. All right? A lot of times I put aluminum foil down on a pan because I'm lazy. I admit it. All right? Don't want to have to wash it. Put the foil down. When I'm done with it, I pull the foil up and I put the pan back in the cabinet. Okay? Saving myself a dish to have to wash. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, be like, that's lazy, Miss Wall. Yes, it is. But who washes the dishes at your house? You or your parents?
I don't wash dishes. I do everything else, but I don't wash dishes.
Okay. Well, I do most of them in my house. So I'm into the easy way. So, but if you heat water, does water heat and cool quickly?
That's a hot you make it.
Most of us probably take it to boil.
Well,
Do heat and cool quickly?
No, it takes a while.
Takes a while, all right? So why does water heat slowly and aluminum foil heats quickly? Any ideas?
Metal's a better conductor.
Nope. Doesn't have anything to do with that. All right? All materials have a different what's called specific heat. All right? We got to talk about specific heat, and then we're going to do our activity. All right? All materials have a different specific heat. All of this is on the activity you're going to do. Got it written down, Tyler?
Yeah.
Because don't ask me. I'm not going to help you. All right.
We'll write the next one.
All right. Specific heat is defined as the amount of energy needed to raise the temperature of 1 gram of material 1 degree Celsius.
We got a lab
You're gonna do an activity where you're gonna draw a graph and read it.
group.
You can do it in groups too.
Mario.
What are we talking about?
Okay,
He's
Jose.
thinking, I don't
Come on,
want you.
Jose.
You don't even take notes.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I do take notes,
Yeah, you already admitted you don't ever look back at them.
but I do take them.
Well, that's good. You don't use them.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you were just making that stuff up earlier.
No,
Oh, so what's true? You do use them after you take them, or you don't use them after you take them?
it's the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
You just write them down and you never look at them again?
I look at them, but I don't. But I look at them.
Right.
I look at them. Jose, you're my partner. How come teachers don't get paid a lot? That doesn't make sense. Because you guys, like doctors get paid a lot, right? Who teaches them to be a doctor? Right?
Other doctors.
No, but like teachers.
Other doctors.
No.
I heard Coach like every
Yeah.
time we talk so can the teacher get paid?
I don't want to be a doctor. Being a dentist is the move, though. They get paid a lot.
More experience or
It's
too much
both
competition,
experience and
like,
then
to get into
degrees.
dental school.
so what degree do you have?
Hey, I wasn't
The
done.
lowest degree possible.
I wasn't done.
What was that?
Oh.
BA. A bachelor's. I have a 4-year degree.
Oh,
What's also
Huh? I don't have a master's. I didn't go to school beyond 4 years.
You got a master's at 12 or something.
Huh?
You got a master's at 12 or something.
Master's is 2 years beyond.
Oh, 20 on the
So you could, some programs require 1 more year, some require 2. I could have done it online or something like that, but I had no interest. Still don't.
you made it, though.
Huh?
You made it. You're retiring.
Yes.
That's nice.
I could have done national board certification. I didn't do it either.
There's a mailman who retired at 30. I'm going to be a mailman so I can retire at 30.
You want to be a dentist?
Huh?
Don't you want to be a dentist?
I said I was thinking about it, but then I saw how many people tried to get into dental school. And it's like really hard to get into. So I was like,
How's your math and science? You ain't going to
yeah, that's all I was like. I'm not going. Like, I'm realistic about it at least. I just considered it.
What
But I
is
was like,
that?
no, that's not going to work for me.
Huh? Most math or dental schools require math and science in your background.
What if I got math and science in my background? It's just like barely made it through.
I'm going to tell you that other people are probably going to stand a much better chance than you are.
Connections. You got.
I'm just being honest.
Got brother.
Okay, then bribe them.
Yeah.
Next thing we know, you'll be on the news for bribery.
I'm just playing. I don't even want to be a dentist like that. I just considered it.
All right, so here are some typical specific heats. All right, now I picked water, and water has a large specific heat. And these three have all decimal numbers. So these are small specific heats. So,
Yo, I agree.
don't tell me to breathe deeply. I am breathing. All right, so what do those numbers tell us?
It's like,
All right, what did we say about water just a minute ago? Did water heat and cool quickly or slowly? Slowly. Okay, so a large specific heat means you heat and cool slowly. The small specific heat means you heat and cool quickly. So the aluminum that I had up here has the small specific heat, and it's going to heat and cool quickly. The water that we had has a large specific heat, so it's going to heat and cool very slowly. All right, so when you think about boiling water, if you have something that you boiled and you have it on the stove, does it cool down very quickly? Does water cool down very quickly when you boil it? Boiling water? No, it takes a while to cool down. It takes a good while to cool down boiling water.
Wait. Hold up.
Just checking to see what I was just checking to see what was next. To make sure I had everything I needed to have, which I do. I didn't want to give out the activity and then y'all all be like, well, I don't know how to answer this. But
I want to know.
everything.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Jose, you got a dog? You got a dog? You got a dog? Chihuahua? You got a Chihuahua? Dog? Chihuahua?
Yeah.
You like it?
Tell me about your chihuahuas.
I like it.
What? Poop everywhere? You have a dog?
Yeah,
You like him?
she's okay. She's a little dumb, but
Poop everywhere?
no. She's a little dumb, yes. Not the brightest dog I've ever met.
Wait. I got one more.
Too bad, so sad.
I get
All right.
Man, Jose, who took that notes? Because y'all crazy.
All right, so you're going to draw a graph, okay? On the front side of the graph sheet, all right, it's telling you you're going to graph 3 insulators. What is wrong now? I had that stuff up there plenty long enough for you to have this. All right, it tells you that what's going to be on your x-axis. At the top, and number 1, it says plot the data on the graph. Plot what on the horizontal axis?
Time.
All right, so we're going to have time on the horizontal axis, and we're going to have what on?
Water temp.
All right. So we're going to have water temp here. Now, use different colored pencils to do each of these. So how many different insulators are we going to have? 3. Now, I don't care if you color in insulator A, B, and C on the front of this. You better not throw that airplane in my room. All right. If you mark A, B, and C on the graph with a legend or a key or write A, B, and C, I don't care as long as you mark A, B, and C in some kind of way so I know which line is A, B, and C. Now, you're going to cover up B and C, and you're going to plot 0, 100, 30, 88, 60, 75, 90, 63, 120, and 50. Let's just say that I use red for that one. Okay? And Miss Wall is just going to write A there. All right? Then I'm going to cover up A and C. And I'm going to plot my time and B's numbers. I'm just going to use green. Now, they're starting in the same place. Okay? So, given all 3 graphs are 0, 100, what do you know about all 3 points? They're all going to be on top of each other. Okay? And I just drew 3 lines. I don't know what the line, I do know what the lines look like, but I'm not drawing them the way they appear. Okay? So, you're going to draw all 3 of them. Once you've drawn all 3 of them, then you're going to answer the questions on the front and the back. You understand what I'm telling you? Mm-hmm. All right. Groups of 2 to answer the questions and draw your graph. If you have questions, you can ask. If you don't want to work with anybody, you don't have to. Somebody might want to take Tyler under their wing, though.